They don't want you to know this. A judge breaking federal law to protect an illegal immigrant. The FBI caught red-handed rigging elections, and Hunter Biden's laptop cover-up exposed. Folks, this isn't conspiracy, it's corruption at the highest levels. Stay tuned, because I'm breaking it all down.
Breaking federal law, wasn't she?
Yes, that's why we arrested her.
She was helping an illegal immigrant escape being taken into custody. Is that right?
Yes, and the field agents decided to open the case, work the case.
And as Americans, do we get to pick and choose which laws we want to follow?
We do not.
If you're a state court judge, do you get to decide you don't want to follow federal law?
No.
And if you violate federal law, you get arrested, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
That's called equal treatment under the law, isn't it?
Yes, Senator.
You remember Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, don't you?
Yes, Senator.
Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. Mr. Strzok worked for the FBI. I think Ms. Page worked for Justice. The Inspector General found in its investigation that they hated President Trump and they really wanted Secretary Clinton to win. Is that true?
That's correct, sir.
And this would be the same same Ms. Page who sent an email to Mr. Strzok with whom she was having an affair. Trump's not ever going to become president, right? Right? And Mr. Strzok with the FBI, senior official at the FBI replied, quote, no, he won't. We'll stop it. Did I read that correctly?
You did, Senator.
Okay. Now, Ms. Page got quit before she could get fired. Mr. Strzok was fired. And predictably, they filed a lawsuit because in Washington, it's easier to divorce your spouse than it is to fire a federal employee. Why did the FBI give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 to settle a lawsuit?
Senator, I do not know that settlement was reached in the prior administration.
Who made the decision?
The prior Department of Justice.
Who in the prior Department of Justice?
The settlement for that kind of case can only come from the Attorney General, which would be Attorney General Merrick Garland.
So the Attorney General decided to give Mr. Strzok $1.2 million and Ms. Page $800,000 after they were fired after actively interfering in the 2016 election. Is that right?
My understanding is that was a settlement they agreed to.
Pass me the sick bucket, please. The Hunter Biden laptop. In October of 2016, shortly before the election, the New York Post wrote a story that was widely covered talking about Mr. Hunter Biden's influence peddling scheme based on his laptop. A couple of weeks later, Secretary of State, soon-to-be Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, organized a group of 51 so-called intelligence experts. Had some real rock stars on the list. Jim Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Hayden, Leon Panetta, and they said, oh, no, the story in the New York Post is not true. It's based on Russian disinformation. You remember that?
I do, Senator, as the lead investigator for Russiagate for the House Intel Committee.
Yeah. The FBI had the laptop for 10 months, hadn't they?
They did, Senator.
So the FBI knew right before the election that it wasn't Russian disinformation, didn't they?
And that was confirmed by the Inspector General's report.
Yeah. Who at the FBI refused to let the FBI tell the American people the truth?
I don't have that name in front of me, sir.
Well, would you look?
I will, sir.
I'd like to know. I'd like a name, not a division. I'd like the name. Person with a brain and a beating heart.
Yes, sir.
Did Jeffrey Epstein hang himself or did somebody kill him?
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before?
Welcome back to Jace Manhwa. If you love truth, accountability, and exposing the corruption in Washington, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe right now so you don't miss a single video. Now, let's break down what just went down in this hearing because, folks, it's jaw-dropping. A Wisconsin state judge was arrested for literally helping an illegal immigrant escape custody. Think about that. A judge, the very person sworn to uphold the law, was caught breaking it. This is what happens when radical activists sit on the bench. Equal treatment under the law means just that. No exceptions for elites in black robes. And then we get to the real swamp creatures, Lisa Page and Peter Strzok. Remember those names? These were the people at the heart of the FBI, openly texting about stopping Donald Trump from ever becoming president. The so-called defenders of justice were plotting against the American people's choice. And what happened after they were caught? Fire, sure. But then Merrick Garland's DOJ handed them millions in taxpayer money to settle lawsuits. You and I work hard to pay taxes, and they're using it to reward corrupt insiders. That is a slap in the face to every single American. Now let's talk Hunter Biden's laptop. The FBI had it in their possession for 10 months before the 2020 election. They knew it wasn't Russian disinformation. They knew the truth. Yet 51 so-called intelligence experts, Clapper, Brennan, Panetta, signed a letter claiming it was fake. That lie protected Joe Biden, helped swing an election, and silence the truth. And the FBI still won't name who stopped them from coming clean. That's not just bias, that's election interference. And finally, Jeffrey Epstein. The American people still don't have answers. Was it suicide, or was it something far darker? The FBI keeps stalling. Every day they delay, trust in these institutions dies a little more. This hearing shows us exactly why the swamp protects itself. The rules don't apply to the elites, but they sure as hell apply to us. That's why we can't stay silent. We need to hold their feet to the fire. If you agree that it's time to clean house and demand accountability, hit that like button right now, subscribe to Jace Manhwa, and share this video. The truth only wins if we keep speaking it.